Tonight, Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Find out how international students are celebrating.
And on a related note, we'll take a look at the annual ISCO Festival. Stay tuned for Trojan Vision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy Trojan Vision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy Trojan Vision Nightly News for November 20th, 2013. I'm Courtney Addison.
And I'm Judson Garner. Thanks for joining us this evening. Well, Thanksgiving might be next week, but as a part of Troy University's International Week of Activities, the Freshman Forum wanted to give students, Troy's international students, to say an education on one of the more traditionally American holidays. Amanda Ford has a story.
When you think of a Thanksgiving dinner, you may think of turkey or even pumpkin pie, but most international students have never experienced a true Thanksgiving meal, so the Freshman Forum decided to step in.
Well, it's our annual International Thanksgiving dinner. With it, all of the international students are more than welcome to come and kind of just really get the essence of Thanksgiving and why we celebrate it.
Freshman Forum sponsors the Thanksgiving dinner so that the international students can further their relationships with their peers from Troy and to kind of teach them about the Thanksgiving tradition that they don't really experience at home.
The Freshman Forum also performed a skit, and it took much planning to make the event come together.
We actually took about a 2-hour shopping trip to buy all the turkeys. We looked like crazy people with 9 turkeys in our buggy, and then we had to cook the turkeys. And we had to ask other people to cook turkeys.
Planning started really about 2 months ago. Of course, we had to find sponsors for the food, but the main thing was getting the word out. So we used conversation partners, we used the English as a second language classes, and then of course we posted flyers all over the campus.
Some international students were very surprised with some American traditions.
My first Thanksgiving experience was on Black Friday. It was really crazy. I have never seen people crazy about shopping before.
And there was one food item that seemed to be at the top of everyone's list.
Turkey. yeah, really good.
Amanda Ford, Troy Trojan Vision News.
And the rest of us will have to wait one more week for Thanksgiving. It is next Thursday. However, Troy students will have the entire week off for the holiday starting this Friday.
Last night, international students got a taste of American traditional food, but today the international students turned the tables by offering some of their traditional food to their American neighbors. It's not every day that you get to taste true Saudi Arabian coffee and tea, or even see what your name looks like in Arabic. But Wednesday afternoon, ISCO held an event to give Troy students a glimpse into 9 countries represented right here in Troy.
We hold this event is to give all the American students as well as the other international students a chance to see what other countries have to offer in terms of like various items and various food. So it just gives everyone a cultural experience, and like people get to see, go from tables to table and see all these interesting artifacts they have, and like maybe realize what they have in common with their culture.
Taste of the Worlds gives students a chance to really step out of their comfort zones and try something new. One Troy student says this is a great opportunity to break down cultural barriers.
My favorite part is just connecting different cultures together, you know what I mean? I feel like sometimes in the South, people can kind of be shy to try out new things and, learn about new cultures and stuff like that. And with this event, it really is like one of the biggest and best events to express the cultural diversity that is at Troy.
And while mingling at Taste of the World, students also had the chance to learn more about Troy's study abroad program. And from an international standpoint, one student feels this event really puts the world into perspective.
I see how the world is small when I see all the internationals, because we came from different continents, different countries, and we communicate, and it's so cool.
Although each table was usually full of spectators, a few in particular seemed to stand out.
I love China's table because it's just so colorful.
Probably I enjoyed going to the South Korea table.
I gotta say Vietnamese table, but only because I've been to Vietnam before.
And if any students are interested in exploring the study abroad potentials, they can visit Orlando Pacheco in the International Office in Pace Hall.
And Troy's international students have a big party planned to cap off the week of international themed events. Troy's International Student Cultural Organization, or ISCO, will hold their annual ISCO Festival Thursday night in the Trojan Center ballrooms. The event features food and entertainment from the nations represented by Troy's international student population. Tickets for the festival are available now for $15 and can be purchased in the International Office in Pace Hall. The ISCO Festival will be this Thursday starting at 6 in the Trojan Center ballrooms.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In McAllen, Cherokee Nation representatives say a banner displayed during a high school football game that recalled the Trail of Tears shows the need to continue educating students nationwide about the Indian removal era. Administrators of McAdory High School in McAllen say have apologized for the banner shown during a Friday night game, which said McAdory's opponents, the Indians, should get ready to leave in a trail of tears.
And in Huntsville, state and local leaders are working to lure a Boeing Company aircraft assembly plant to the Huntsville area. Major Tommy Battles says Huntsville is one of several cities being considered for a 777X assembly site.
And out of Calvert, a German steel company, ThyssenKrupp AG, says it's in exclusive negotiations about the possible sale of its three-year-old steel plant in Calvert. It said late yesterday the outcome of the talks are still open, and they did not release the name of the potential buyer.
And still to come on Trojan Vision Nightly News, the men's basketball team had a game last night at home. We'll tell you how that game went when Mitchell Spoon joins us with sports coming up. Now Mitchell Spoon joins us for a look at sports. So Mitchell, we had two basketball games last night. Both of our teams were in action, one here at home and one on the road.
That's right, Justin, and we had two very different results, but I'll get more into that right now in sports.
Okay.
The Trojan men's basketball team returned to Trojan Arena last night, and so far in the Phil Cunningham era, Troy has managed to stay undefeated at home. Amy Austin has the details.
Tuesday night, the Troy men's basketball team kept their undefeated record for home games while playing in Trojan Arena. The Trojans took on Nicholls State and defeated the Colonels 77-62. The Trojans had to fight hard against the Colonels because, as Coach Phil Cunningham tells us, Nicholls State is an aggressive team.
Our plan was to drive the ball because they play a really aggressive style of defense. They pressure the ball. They're aggressive on ball screens. So our plan was to attack and get to the foul line.
While many Trojan fans may not be familiar with Nicholls State, Coach Cunningham realized how critical a match this was for the Trojans.
Our players don't understand it, and the fans who were at the game probably don't understand it, but that was a really good win. Even if it wasn't the prettiest win, it was a good win because their style of play is really unique in a sense that they try to, they're very patient with their offense and try to turn the ball over 2 or 3 times side to side, and lull you into a mistake defensively. And you've got to be really patient defensively to do a good job against it.
Throughout the second half, Nicholls State did not give up fighting. The Trojans had acquired the lead but had to tighten their defense as the Colonels improved their field goal percentage from the first half up by 12%. Troy knew what they needed to do to defend their lead.
We just talked about, hey, we don't want to let a team back in a game with opportunities like that. If they're going to get back in the game, let's make them hit some tough threes and make them turn that offense over and get a good shot. Let's don't let them get out and run and make easy baskets in transition. And then we just emphasize, hey, we want to make sure we pound this ball inside too.
One player stood out in particular, Jeff Malahy. He was 100% from behind the line and 100% from behind the arc, scoring a half of Troy's three-pointers.
He's a great help-the-helper type player. He's always in help defense. He's always willing to help, and he does all those little things right. And what he is, though, he's a talented offensive player. He doesn't get a whole lot of attention because, you think about guys like Hunt and Fresh, offensively how talented they are. But Jeff's talented, too. He's 6'4", 6'5". He's strong. He's athletic. He can really shoot it.
Amy Alston, Troy, Trojan Vision Sports.
Up next, the Trojans hit the road for a matchup against Central Arkansas next Tuesday. And the Troy women's basketball team fell into a 12-point hole early and never recovered on Tuesday night's road match against Mercer. The Trojans fell to the Bears 86-81 Tuesday at Hawkins Arena in Macon, Georgia. Joanna Harden led the Trojans with 24 points, with 20 of those coming in the second half on 8 of 15 shooting and 7 of 7 free throws. Renita Garrett and Chant Lewis were in double figures off the bench with 17 and 10 points respectively, while Brooke Bobby was the fourth Trojan in double figures with 13 points. Bobby also led the Trojans with 12 rebounds for her first career double-double. Mercer out-rebounded the Trojans 48-40. The Trojans return to the floor next Tuesday when Alabama Huntsville visits Trojan Arena for a 7 p.m. game. And the Trojan volleyball team closed the door on the regular season, finishing 12-20 overall and 7-11 in the conference. Thursday, the Trojans will open the door to the postseason, taking on the very team that beat them in the final game of the regular season, Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers are the #1 seed in the Sun Belt Conference Championships, while Troy is listed as the 8th. And while the Trojans will look to knock off the two-time defending Sun Belt champion, they will also use the home field to their advantage. Coach Tony Kirkpatrick explains how playing at home will be beneficial to his team.
Typically, we play a lot better at home. I mean, and that goes without saying. Anybody in the conference plays better at home. There have been some huge upsets this year when typically higher ranked teams have gone to lower ranked teams and they've lost. So anything can happen. We've got a great fan base here. We've got a great arena to play in. The girls know everything about the floor and the ins and outs of what goes on, and we're excited to play at home. We really want to show off our arena to everyone in the conference that hasn't been here before.
The Trojans enter the tournament having won 3 of their last 4 matches and will look to use that momentum to upset the Hilltoppers on Thursday. First set is scheduled for 7:30. So Judson, Courtney, congratulations to the men's basketball team, going 2-0 at home. Hopefully this match against Central Arkansas next Tuesday can help improve that 0-2 record on the road. And of course, unfortunately for the women's basketball team, they weren't able to get that win, but hopefully their next match, they can turn things around and come away with a W.
Yeah, it's interesting, 2 results. Sometimes it's more comfortable for people to be playing at home than it is on the road. So,
of course, everyone loves playing at home.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Mitchell.
Thank you.